Alright, this is going to be a tutorial for jailbreaking your Wii. So, right off the bat, we'll start with the Wii. Just load it up and go to the settings. And in the settings, you're going to want to make sure that you're connected to the internet. And as you're going through these settings real quick, just check up here what your version is. It should be 4.3. If it's not, we're going to update it in a second. But you're definitely going to update it to 4.3. And then just check that letter. So it could be U, E, K, or J. So just check it and then take note of that. So I'm gonna connect to my internet. So I'm gonna do this real quick and then I'll cut after I'm connected. Alright, as you can see, I'm testing my connection right now. So once your connection is finished testing, there we go. So it was successful, that's good. Now I'll ask you if you want to update. I know that I'm at 4.3, which is the most recent version, so I know that there's not going to be an update. So I'm going to press no. If your number wasn't 4.3, then go ahead and press yes to check for an update. But that's that. So now you have your connection, whether it be wireless or wired. So now go back and then go to console information. Now right here it displays your MAC address. Mine is going to be mostly blacked out, except for the 2 starting zeros, because I'm pretty sure they all actually start with that. But either way, it's not enough for me to be vulnerable. But this is something you want to take note of, either write down or just keep it open on a second monitor. So yeah, that's all for right now. So remember, it's 4.3U, so the U and the MAC address. That's what you need right now. So now let's move over to the computer so that we can get the file that we need to get. So here we are at this website, please.hackme.com. So this is where you want to go. And then you see it asks for your menu version, your MAC address, and then you want to keep this checked. So my menu is 4.3U. That's why you want to remember that number. And the MAC address, I'm going to go ahead and type that in right now. And I'll also block it out again here so that you don't get to see it. Alright, and then make sure that you check the bundle the hackme installer thingy. And then just do the CAPTCHA. Okay, sweet. I'm apparently a robot. And then for this, it doesn't matter what button you press, just click one of them. So it'll install letterbomb.zip. So let's open that up. And here it is. You can actually delete all these text files, they don't matter at all. All we need is the private and the boot.elf. Oh, whoops. There. Alright, so delete that. So now, you just want to take these, put them onto your SD card, and make sure there's nothing else on your SD card. So now we've just got the private and the boot elf. Now this is a per system thing, so you couldn't, take this SD card and put it right into your buddy's Wii and then jailbreak his Wii for him, because, as you saw, we need the MAC address, the system specific MAC address. So can't do this without that. So now we'll switch it back over to the Wii, and then we'll move on from there. Now, as you can see, I've got the SD card in right here. It's glowing blue, which means it's there. So now what you want to do is you want to go to the message board right here. Now, depending on your time zone, it could appear in any of the different days. So you can see right here it appeared for me. It could appear in the today, it could appear in the tomorrow, it could appear in the yesterday. It really depends. Sometimes I really can't find it at all, so I have to go to the camera. And then, going back a few months and then coming back will make the letter message appear. And then I can go to it and click it. So just kind of screw around with this until you get it. And if it isn't appearing, try typing in your MAC address again and downloading a new version, like a new file of it. Maybe something got messed up in the transfer, maybe something got messed up when you were typing your MAC address. So just, try that if you are having trouble. So let's open this up. That's just going to do this thing. So it's just checking to make sure this is the right file and everything. Now this part is just saying, this is free stuff, don't pay for it. So if you did pay for it, then you were scammed. And you actually have to sit here for quite a little bit until it'll allow you to press 1 to continue. Also, something to note, this doesn't really apply to this part, but it will apply later, so maybe you should look into this. But make sure that your Wii remote, there are the Wii Motion Plus ones where Wii Motion Plus is built in. You want to make sure that yours doesn't have Wii Motion Plus built in. Here we go. So, okay, well, I'll finish explaining this in a minute. So for this, you just press continue. go up to install homebrew channel. Yes, continue, and success, continue. And then we don't need to worry about the boot me, so just exit. And there you go, and it should bring you right to the homebrew channel. And there. And since our SD card doesn't have any files on it yet, there's not going to be anything here, so let's exit the system menu. So that thing about Wii remotes, just make sure you don't have the one, if it on the front of the remote at the very bottom it says Wii. Below that it might say Wii Motion Plus inside, which means that it's built in. That remote's not really going to work for some of the stuff coming up. So just, make note of that. But now I'm going to head back over to the computer for a minute, and there's some more files you got to download. These are the files that are going to be for like the files that actually do things. So now we finally got the homebrew channel. Now let's do something with it. So let's head over to the computer. So here we are. These are the files that you're going to need. I'll just go through them real quick. So these two, they just install iOS features for your Wii, and not iPhone operating system. iOS is the format of the mod, like operating system type things. Not really sure how to describe them, but these are very crucial to running all the programs that we'll need. This is one of those programs. This is how we load the games, GameCube and Wii games, and this is just a manager for WADs. WAD is the file type that you install onto the Wii. So here's a folder with some WADs in it. This is the file that allows us to run GameCube games, and this just puts that program on the channel, the game loader. And these are WADs that hopefully we won't need to use, and this is just the stuff for that USB loader. So I'm going to move these all over to my SD card, and then we'll head back over to the Wii, and I'll show you what you got to do. Alright, so we're back at the home screen of the Wii, and as you can see my SD card is in, and all the files are on it, so let's go to the homebrew channel. And here you can see some of the things that I showed you just a minute ago. So we'll start with the iOS 236 installer. So just load that up. Alright, so this is the part where you need to use a Wii remote that doesn't have Wii Motion Plus. So make sure you get one of those. But as you can see for this one, you can also use a GameCube controller, because it says 1 or Y, 2 or X. So press 1 to install it. And then optimally you would want to download it from NUS. Right there. So that's the network, because that would most likely give you the most up-to-date version. But like I showed you before, they are also on the SD card, so you can get them off there if you want. But I'm going to do it on NUS because I'm connected to the internet. This can sometimes take a while, so I'll probably speed it up. Never mind. Oh, that was just preparations for the install. So now it's got to install. This usually takes a while. Never mind, I'm wrong. Alright, so now you just press any button to exit. And now we'll move on to some different iOSs. And this one has some kind of annoying music. So now that we just installed the 236, we can use that. So select 236 here, press A. This is just a disclaimer, don't worry about it. So we're going to install iOS 56 right here. And if you notice, that was also on the SD card as a WAD. And then we'll install it to custom iOS 249. And you can choose WAD installation if you want, but I am connected to the network, so I'll do network installation. These files probably haven't been updated in a while, and they probably never will be, so it should be pretty safe to use just the WAD. But, it's always better to use the network if you can, in case there is that rare update. Alright, so press any button to continue. And now we'll install iOS 36. Again, this one is also on the SD card as a WAD, and this time we'll install it to iOS 250 slot because you don't want to install this onto the same slot that you just installed that onto. So 250 and network installation as usual, and continue. Alright, finally. So now we'll just press the B button to restart. So we've installed all of our iOSs now, so now we'll just need to install some of the WADs. So go to WAD Manager, load. This one has some cool music to it. Again, another disclaimer, just press A to continue. We're going to use 249 for this. This doesn't matter, just keep pressing A. Make sure you choose the SD card there though. So these are the 3 WADs that we just installed, but we installed them from the network instead of the SD card. So what we're going to want to install is the Dios Mios WAD. So install that. Now these ones, I'm going to link them in the description as a download, but they might get updated in the future, who knows, so feel free to go and do a little research and see if there's a newer version out. And then this is the WAD for the adding the loader to your channel, like to your home screen of your Wii. So I'm going to install that. It's kind of optional, but it makes it easier because you don't need to go to the homebrew channel to load the app. Alright, and then press B and then home to restart. So yeah, see, you can get to the USB loader from here, but it's quicker if you just have it right as a channel on your home screen. So now we can load this because we've installed our iOSs. And I don't have a USB device in, so it's not going to load. I'm going to press home to reset. So now I'll show you how to format your GameCube and your Wii files the appropriate way. Technically, you can just put them right on the thing and it'll read them, but they're kind of large and it's much more optimal to convert them to a different file type. It kind of compresses them. But real quick, I just want to show you a setting that should be turned off. This. So WeConnect 24 is basically a useless thing that does nothing. So it should be turned off. So I'm going to do this and then I'll head back over to the computer and show you how to do that formatting that I mentioned. Alright, so these are the 2 websites that you want to go to. So this first website here is for the Wii stuff. So you just download it down here. And this site over here is for the GameCube stuff. So you can download it down here. And these will be linked in the description. So what you want to do is you want to open it. And I'll start with the Wii one. So you want to choose your drive. Drive F. That's the one I'm going to be using. So when you select it, so first clean format your drive. FAT32. Make sure you do the whole thing as FAT32. Clean format it. And when you add it in, it'll say like, this is a valid drive, but it doesn't have a certain folder. Can we add it? And then just click like yes. And all it will do is it will just, in the drive, it'll just create a WBFS folder and then this disk info folder or file. And that's it. So then from here, you want to go to files and then just add in your file. So I'm going to do WarioWare and then select it and transfer WBFS, and then I'll just move it to my downloads for now. So this should go pretty quickly. It's a pretty small game. If it's like a crazy game like Brawl or something, you know, double layer 7 GB game, it'll probably take a little while, but this shouldn't take very long. Alright, so now that that's finished, as you can see, it created it as a folder instead of as an ISO. So if you open the folder, you just have the WBFS file of the game. So you want to take this and you want to drag it into that WBFS folder. And it might take a little while to move over considering it's probably a pretty big file. So we'll bring this over here for now. And then we'll start with one of the GameCube files. So you can do that for all the games that you need to do it for, and you know it might take a while to do all that, but you gotta, because I mean technically you don't have to, but it makes it like you're not going to be able to hold many games if you don't do it that way. So that's enough of that. Let's do the GameCube one now. The GameCube one is much simpler. File, open ISO. I have this Melee file here, so open that up, and then just it shows you all the stuff. We don't really care about that. We just want to extract. So you want to extract it as disk EX format, and then I'll just put that in my downloads as well. And this might take a little while, so I might skip this. Alright, so as you can see, it's finished now. And the GameCube files are generally much smaller. Look at this. This is like almost a megabyte, or almost a gigabyte. So not very large at all. So now I can close that. And again, you can do this with as many games as you want. So now here it is in my downloads folder right here. And it's also listed as like a folder type thing. So we'll grab this, and then on your removable disk, you want to create a folder and just name it games, just all lowercase and everything. Alright, and then go back, move this into there, and that'll take a little while to copy. So I'm gonna skip all the waiting around for all the stuff to copy over. But one quick thing I want to show you real quick is I have my current hard drive that I use, and it has like a ton of games on it. So here you can kind of see how it's formatted. So we have games in WBFS, and then if you load up the folder, you've got tons of games just sitting here in folder form. You know, all the stuff inside. So those are all GameCube games. And then here are the Wii games. So as you can see, it's just the WBFS file inside of the folder. So yeah, it's pretty simple, pretty easy. But yeah, I'll skip to when I have those files converted, and then when I come back, I'll be on the Wii, and I'll have the hard drive in my Wii. Alrighty. So as I was saying, sometimes it doesn't load properly, like this. There are a few issues here. Usually it's the board that, like, I don't know how to say it, but like if you have an external hard drive to HDA to USB, like, casing, then sometimes it's that board that converts it to USB. Sometimes it's that thing that it's not really compatible with the Wii. So it really depends on the hard drive that you get. But sometimes you can just press 2 and it'll reload and work. That's what I'm trying right here. Okay, there we go. So here we have Melee, and here we have Smooth Moves. Now I'm going to change my theme real quick. No, not that theme. There we go. This is what I like. Alright, so go to updates, and then you can... Ooh, my thing's being weird. Alright, download missing covers. So this, you need a network connection for it to go to those sites and download them. And it shouldn't take very long. And like it says right there, you can hold the B button to cancel. Now there is something else that I wanted to show you, but I'm not sure if I have a game in my Wii. So we'll see in a minute if I can do that. But after these covers download, you'll be able to see the covers of all the games and everything. So they won't just look like that. They'll look pretty good. There you go. Alright, so it just shows them repeated over and over because I only have 2 games. If you press minus, no, not minus, plus? Yeah. So if you press plus, it'll install a game that's inside your disk drive. And I guess I do have a game in here. I'll install it to my USB mass storage. Yeah, let's call it that. I'll install it to my USB drive. So this is Mario Party 5. Cool. So the cool thing about this feature is that if you have all your games on disk, you can just stick them in here and install them onto your thing without, you know, going online and like finding the ISOs and everything. So it's convenient. I'll probably just skip this though, because this will probably take a while. Alright, for some reason I think the game was broken. but it just couldn't read it. But it didn't tell me it couldn't read it. It just sat there trying to install it forever. I didn't see my settings. Save. So whenever you change your settings, make sure you go to System and then Save. Anyway, let's load up one of these games and just do a quick test of it. And there you go, the game's all loaded. So now, we should be able to just play it. Yep, there we go. So that's that. So there's actually one quick thing I forgot to mention. If you want to use like VC and stuff, you can do that. You just gotta put them on your SD card, and then I think they're in my WAD folder, yeah. So here you can see most of this is VC, like Mock Rider, Ghost and Goblins, Donkey Kong, etc. The annoying thing about this is that you can't hold all of them on your Wii, and I don't have a stable method yet of playing them from SD cards, like installing them onto the SD card and then playing them off that. I'm not even sure if it's fully possible. I know it was looked into a bit. So you kind of got to keep them here and then uninstall the ones that you don't want to play at the moment, because the save files will stay. You just, if you want to play, like let's say I finish Castlevania 3, and I want to play Donkey Kong Country 1, I have to uninstall Castlevania 3, then install Donkey Kong Country 1 or Donkey Kong 1, if I don't have enough space for it. So that's kind of annoying. So yeah, that's how you do like VC stuff. And then if you have like emulators like VBA or something for Game Boy, they go in your apps, and then right here there's the channel installer. So for this one, it comes as its own app, the channel installer. Normally the channel installer will be just a WAD, like it was for the CFG right here. So it's called a forwarder, so they put forward. So yeah, just a quick thing I forgot to mention. So if you so at this point you can basically play anything Nintendo from NES all the way up until Wii, which is really awesome. Although the N64 emulators are pretty unstable on the Wii. So yeah, now I'm done. So have fun playing all your fun games.